Okay, good evening and afternoon. My name is Jeff DiCorpo, and I am responsible for strategic initiatives at StackVelocity. We are very excited to be here at our first OpenPOWER Summit, and we have some exciting things going on we'd like to talk to you or share with you today. But before I do that, I'd like to give you a little bit of background regarding who StackVelocity is. A little clicker issue. So StackVelocity is went too far. Here we go. So StackVelocity is a business unit within Jabil Circuit. Jabil Circuit is a global contract manufacturer. We're about an $18 to $20 billion company, and a big part of our business is building products for many of the brand names that you're familiar with in the IT marketplace today. We do everything from design to building PCBAs to building boxes to doing full, rack level or multi-rack level configurations. On behalf of our customers, we also, deliver, provide logistics and fulfillment for some of our customers as well. And so StackVelocity is a new business unit really focused on systems integration, taking many of those core capabilities that we have for our current core customers and providing that as a customized service offering for a set of customers that are looking to deploy hyperscale, scale-out infrastructure, or leverage that same infrastructure with their customers to deliver, let's say, next-generation platforms based on hyper-scale type principles. So many of the capabilities that we leverage as Jabil or as part of Jabil include manufacturing. So we have a global footprint. We have over 100 manufacturing sites around the globe. We have world-class capabilities in terms of manufacturing, in terms of quality systems and supply chain procurement. Where obviously we're able to finance large transactions and deployments just through the balance sheet we have as a large corporation. But beyond that, we really have built around a couple of different areas to kind of provide a complete set of services for this space. One of those is around what we call front-end engineering. So that is really working with customers to help define hardware infrastructure sets, right? To help customers look at, evaluate different technologies, different design choices that they might be considering, looking at how those design choices might impact the cost versus performance versus power consumption. And we spend a lot of our focus and energy around open initiatives, open hardware, open software, because those tend to be the most relevant to the kinds of customers that we're looking at or that would value our services. On the back end of that, we also have extended some capabilities around services. So we provide a menu, a range of different types of services to help customers, whether that is with deployment in terms of taking racks from their dock into their data center and installing those and turning those on and running through some acceptance testing before commissioning them in their environments, or whether that's assistance from a break-fix perspective. So that may be supporting them, let's say, with remote technical support for their own staff, or potentially sending staff on site into data centers where they don't have people, or providing some sort of a spares management or logistics management around managing a spare pool, let's say, in their data center to facilitate that that process. So one of the things that really differentiates, I think, us versus maybe others in this space is our ability to kind of bring together a full suite of capabilities from an end-to-end engagement perspective. And so we have capabilities that we can flexibly bring into any particular engagement model, whether that's in a design sense, so where we're leveraging our design organizations and teams that we have to, let's say, take a platform that we've already brought into the space, but then customize that, maybe tweak the feature set or the functionality to meet a specific set of customer requirements, or whether that might be engaging with a customer on a grounds-up development based on a very specific need that does not exist in the marketplace. Of course, we leverage a broad range of capabilities around manufacturing. We have world-class capabilities in terms of assembly processes, manufacturing processes, quality processes. We have a large capability around procurement in terms of being able to leverage kind of our ability to buy material, source material, and optimize that entire supply chain as customers are considering how they actually land infrastructure into their facilities, particularly for customers who have multiple geographies or have maybe data centers or customers in multiple areas of the world. I already talked a little about solutions architecture and design, but that's another area of capability. Then we also, once we have a rack definition and we have an idea of what that infrastructure is supposed to look like, we can then roll that into a manufacturing process to help really streamline the ability to build that infrastructure, configure it in a very specific way based on what that customer may be looking for, whether that's a box level configuration or whether that's a rack level configuration. We can do that in a way that it arrives exactly the way that the customer needs that hardware to look like to facilitate, let's say, automation or provisioning systems that they might be using in their operations. Lastly, I talked a little about services, but that's obviously there's a range, a menu of different choices that we can bring to bear, again, depending on what the customer's needs, requirements might be. So we're real excited to be participating in OpenPOWER. We think this is this initiative kind of lands directly aligned to kind of where the market is going and the evolution of how customers are consuming IT infrastructure. We joined OpenPOWER back in the fall of 2014. And we really are focusing around a couple different areas. One of those is making contributions around systems integration and solution design, kind of as I mentioned earlier. So helping to really take some of the building blocks and the technologies and bring those together to understand and solve particular applications or particular problems customers are trying to work through. Second is around new platforms. And so we are going to talk about that a little bit. But bringing new configurations, new platforms based on kind of the continued evolution of the power architecture technology. And then lastly, to really facilitate collaboration, really, and through that process, support new innovation to better meet customer needs, market needs. Okay, so let me talk a little about platforms. This is probably a platform that you may be familiar with. It's called BarrelEye. I think Aaron talked about this again this morning in the keynote, but it's a project that's been driven by Rackspace. We are bringing it into the marketplace to meet, through partnerships to be able to meet specific application or workload requirements. The platform is a 2-socket platform. It supports 32 DIMMs, and it has a storage solution basically built in as a drawer. So it supports up to 15 small form factor drives in a drawer that basically pulls out on the side. It is specifically designed for open compute, right? So if you're not familiar with open compute, it's an alternative standard to traditional rack architectures. It's built around a 21-inch standard, and it utilizes a 12-volt power distribution within the rack. So each of these systems basically plug into a bus bar and are supplied by 12 volts. So that's a consideration if you're looking for, if you're looking or considering a platform like this, as to whether or not that you can accommodate that, or you already are utilizing that maybe in your data center environment, or you can accommodate that in your wherever you're deploying your infrastructure. The new platform that we unveiled this week, which we're very excited about, is a new system. It leverages the Firestone architecture, which you may be familiar with from IBM, but it is also a 2-socket platform. It is specifically designed around storage-rich applications, and so it extends kind of the amount of storage capacity that can be supported in this platform to 24 small form factor disks. These are all front accessible. The platform is designed specifically for 19-inch traditional rack infrastructure. It again supports 32 large memory footprint up to 32 DIMMs, and a range of I/O options, including 2 by 16 CAPI-enabled slots. And then it has another 4 by 8 slots. A couple of those are embedded, and then an additional by 2 slot. Some of the advantages that the platform brings obviously leverages many of the capabilities from the Power 8 architecture in terms of processor performance, in terms of kind of the enhanced memory I/O design. It supports, of course, a large memory footprint. It also, of course, features the CAPI architecture for low latency I/O models for adapters that support that interface. Again, it supports more storage in this particular platform, up to 24 small form factor drives. And it, being in a 2U chassis, can support a very high density configuration within a rack. So this next slide just goes into a little bit more detail in terms of some of the options that are supported in the platform. We're happy to kind of discuss those. If you have questions, please stop by our kiosk. We actually have a live system there, and we can kind of talk you through some of these particular considerations or questions that you might have. So I'd like to close really with a discussion or invitation really to collaborate, right? So I think we're really excited about being part of the OpenPOWER community. We would love to engage with you on discussing, new technologies, new problems, spaces that need to be, that could be addressed, or opportunities to address those. I think you'll find that we can bring a lot to the table as a partner, whether that's through our design, capabilities and organization, or whether that's through an extensive network of technology partners that we work with. Or whether that's just through the experience that we have building IT systems for the marketplace. We look forward to talking with you and working with you. Thank you very much.